Hello everyone. Today I am explaining a concept of nuclear cytoplasmic transportation. So first what you should know is in case of the eukaryotic cell there is a distinct nucleus and outside the nucleus it is cytoplasm. There are very important transcription and translation machineries that are restricted to nucleus as well as into the cytoplasm. Therefore, though there is a nucleus is made up of, like it has the outer covering that is nothing but the biological membrane. So how exactly the exchange of the materials takes place between nucleus and cytoplasm, that I am going to explain in today's class. So to give you a brief introduction, let me show you. This is the eukaryotic cell. The eukaryotic cell has the blue color shaded region is nothing but the nucleus, and the eukaryotic cell, the remaining thing is the cytosol. Now there is genomic DNA in the nucleus. Genomic DNA, of when it undergo transcription, it produces mRNA, rRNA and tRNA, any type of RNA for that matter, is produced inside the nucleus. But if you look at the functions of these RNAs, the functions are residing at the cytosol. Therefore, any type of RNA that are being synthesized in the nucleus should be transported across the nuclear membrane into the cytoplasm to perform their function. So mRNA will undergo translation by using ribosomes. So these ribosomes are present in the cytoplasm. tRNA acts as the carrier of the amino acid. Therefore, the tRNA for the site of translation, and the tRNA should be placed in the cytoplasm. rRNA are involved in the formation of the ribosome. The ribosome formation takes place inside the nucleus. Once the ribosomes are formed, they should be sent out to the cytosol for their function. In the same way, the ribosomes are present in the cytoplasm. As all of you know, ribosomes are called as the protein factories. So any protein that is present in the nucleus is made on the ribosome that is present in the cytoplasm. Therefore, the proteins that are formed or that are synthesized on the ribosomes that are present on the cytoplasm transports those proteins into the nucleus. So the biological membrane that is present around the nucleus should allow the exchange of these molecules across it. So I am calling these molecules as cargo to explain this one. So the cargo may refer to RNA, protein, or any the ribosomes or anything for that matter. Therefore, this membrane should allow the transportation of the cargo proteins or RNA across the nuclear membrane. I am going to explain how exactly the transportation between the cytoplasm and nucleus takes place in this class. So one more thing is, any molecule such as it may be any ions or small metabolites or some globular proteins that are below the molecular weight of 40 kilodalton or can easily diffuse without the assistance of any major proteins, they can easily diffuse through this biological membrane. But some biological material that is above or equivalent to above the size of the more than 40 kilodalton require the assistance of the cargo transport system. I am going to explain you about that cargo system in this class. So we are going to discuss the whole class in two ways. One is mechanism of nuclear import, the other one is mechanism of nuclear export. So in case of the nuclear export or in case of the nuclear import, I am basically taking the protein that is synthesized in the cytoplasm. So as you know, proteins are synthesized on the ribosome. If all the proteins are synthesized on the ribosome, if a particular protein is designated to transport to nucleus, it should carry a signal, a well-defined signal called as nuclear localization signal. We simply designate it as NLS. So a protein, if it has a specific sequence of amino acid, then that amino acid is sequence is nothing but NLS. NLS is if a protein carries proline, lysine, 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 arginine, lysine, valine. If a protein carries this amino acid in this sequence, that is understood that this protein will be targeted to the nucleus. This is called as nuclear localization signal. As soon as the protein is synthesized on the ribosome, as soon as it comes out of the ribosome, this nuclear localization signal decides this protein to transport into the nucleus. Let's see how. So as you know, the proteins synthesized could be histone proteins, DNA polymerases, RNA polymerases, or transcription factors, etc. All these enzymes are proteins. So these proteins need to be transported into the nucleus. Now, for the transportation of these proteins, the cell requires a specific class of proteins, other class of proteins called as karyopherins. Karyopherins are nothing but the set of proteins that are essential for the transportation of cargo. Cargo here it could be any RNA or protein such as histones, DNA polymerase, etc. between cytoplasm and nucleus. The example for the karyopherins are importins and exportins. They are also called as nuclear transport receptors. Let me explain you the mechanism. Let's consider this is the nuclear membrane, that is the membrane that is present around the nucleus. So this is the nuclear membrane, and this side is the cytoplasmic phase and this side is the nuclear phase. So this is nucleus and this is cytoplasm. So here there are specific channel like structures in the membrane of the nucleus. They are called as nuclear pore complexes. These are the basics that you should know to understand the mechanism of transportation across this membrane. So this protein complex, a huge protein complex in fact, it is known as nuclear pore complex. Nuclear pore complex is a huge machinery made up of a minimum of 30 different types of proteins called as nucleoporins. So here it is written nucleoporins. So nucleoporins are the simpler units of the nuclear pore complex. Several types of nucleoporins put together, it forms they form a one nuclear pore complex. In this class, I am going to explain you specifically about FG nucleoporins in the nuclear import and export. Basically, so this ring is designated as the FG nucleoporin here. FG means phenylalanine and glycine. So this nucleoporin contains tandem repeats or several phenylalanine glycine residues in them. So they assist in the transportation process. Therefore, they are designated as FG nucleoporins. It is a protein that is present in the nuclear pore complex. Basically, they have phenylalanine and glycine tandem repeats. Since these proteins are rich in phenylalanine and glycine, they are designated as FG nucleoporins. FG nucleoporin is a part of the nuclear pore complex. This side is cytoplasm, the other side is the nucleus. So coming to this, how exactly the nuclear import takes place? As I said, I have taken a protein that has been synthesized in the cytoplasm on the ribosomes. So I am calling this green portion, or this is called as protein that is formed. This protein is carrying a NLS signal. As you know, I have already told you what is the nuclear localization signal. So this protein has the sequence that is required for the nuclear localization signal, called as nuclear localization signal. So if a protein is there with the nuclear localization signal, it is immediately recognized by a karyoferin. As I said, karyoferin is a protein that assists the transportation of the cargo across the nuclear membrane. Cargo here, it is the protein. The importin recognizes NLS. Importin is the example for karyoferin. So importin recognizes nuclear localization signals on this protein. So this protein should be present in the nucleus, but it has been synthesized in the cytoplasm, therefore it should be transported. To transport this one, it requires the association of the protein called as importin. Importin has two subunits, then importin alpha and importin beta. So one of the subunit is going to interact with the nuclear localization signals. That is, all these things are taking place in the cytoplasm. So once it recognizes the nuclear localization signal, importin and the protein association forms the complex. Once after the formation, the importin interacts with FG nucleoporins. As I said, there is a nuclear pore complex. In the nuclear pore complex, there is FG nucleoporin. Importin interacts with the FG nucleoporin, which results in the movement of transportation of importin bound protein or cargo into the nucleus. Now the complex has reached the nucleus. So it is mediated by importin as well as FG nucleoporins. Now the complex is in the nucleus. So this movement is, the principle behind the movement is simple diffusion. So diffusion, as you know, that the concentration of importin bound protein is more in case of the cytoplasm, therefore it is flowing from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration, simple diffusion process. And as soon as it goes there into the nucleus, in the next step you should follow this picture. As soon as it reaches the nucleus, in the next step there is a protein called as RAN in the nucleus. In the nucleus there is a protein called as RAN. RAN means RAS related nuclear protein. RAN is abbreviated as expansion form of RAN is RAS related nuclear protein, and it is a protein that belongs to the G protein family, and it is monomeric in nature. It's a monomeric G protein. So you all know that G protein means they are always associated with guanine nucleotide. Now you can see here RAN protein has GTP in it. That's why it is called as G protein. So RAN is always associated with either GTP or GDP. When it is in the GTP bound form, it resides in the nucleus. So you can see that there is RAN GTP, that is RAN protein in the GTP bound form. RAN has affinity for importin. So when RAN interacts with the importin, importin loses affinity for nuclear localization signals. From the previous step, you know that importin recognizes this nuclear localization signal and makes an association. Then this is transported here. Once it has been transported here, the binding of RAN in the GTP bound form to the importin releases the protein that has been carried from cytosol. Now this protein is ready for its function in the nucleus, but now you can see that RAN in the GTP bound form, it is associated with importin. So basically, one more point you should know here is importin is a protein that should be present in the cytoplasm, and now it is in the nucleus in association with RAN-GTP. So again, by the diffusion process, by virtue of the distribution, you know that important RAN complex concentration is more in the nucleus than in the cytoplasm. Therefore, through the interaction with the FG nucleoporin, important RAN-GTP complex diffuses out into the cytoplasm. Now, once the important RAN complex is there in the cytoplasm, in the GTP bound form, there is a enzyme called as RAN GTPase activating protein or RAN GTPase accelerating protein. You can call by any of these two names. So you in this picture you can see that important in the RAN bound form, now it has entered the cytoplasmic compartment. Here, as I said, RAN comes in contact with the RAN GTP comes in contact with the RAN GTPase activating protein or GTPase accelerating protein. So it depends on the authors, they write by two different ways. So when this protein interacts with the RAN protein, it hydrolyzes this GTP and converts it into GDP form. Now you can see that there is an exchange or the hydrolysis of the guanosine triphosphate into GDP. Immediately, once this comes in contact with this one, there is hydrolysis of the GTP to form the RAN GDP form, and important loses affinity for the RAN protein. Now, RAN protein cannot interact with the important in the absence of GTP. Important can interact with RAN only in the GTP bound form. In the GDP bound form, it loses affinity. Therefore, RAN immediately is released from the important. Now, this important is ready to carry another new protein that has been synthesized in the cytoplasm and that has been ready to send it to nucleus. So, this important is ready for the next cycle. At the same time, RAN in the GDP bound form, it diffuses back. RAN travels back to the nucleus in the GDP bound form. In the nucleus, so this is transported, the RAN GDP in the cytoplasm is transported through the nuclear pore complex and enters the nucleus. Once it enters the nucleus, you can see here RAN in the cytoplasm, it underwent the RAN GTPase accelerating protein, hydrolyzes GTP into GDP. As soon as it forms the GDP, it enters the nucleus. In the nucleus, RAN GDP encounters another protein called as RAN guanine nucleotide exchange factor or RAN GEF, you can call it as. The function of guanine nucleotide exchange factor is, the name itself suggests, it exchanges GDP with GTP. So immediately RAN shifts from GDP to GTP bound form. Now this protein, RAN protein, is ready for the next recycling of the important cargo. Therefore, you can see that there is a cycling of this protein. RAN is not directly involved in the transportation of any cargo, but it is assisting the proteins such as importance. They are nothing but the carrier-afferents. Therefore, RAN makes a cycle shuttling between nucleus and cytoplasm. This is how the transportation takes place using the RAN. That's why this process is also called as RAN cycle. This is mechanism of nuclear import using the nuclear localization signals. So in the next slides, I will be explaining you about the mechanism of nuclear export. So we shall study mechanism of nuclear export here. Now you also know that in case of the nuclear export, there are several molecules such as rRNA, tRNA and some other shuttling proteins, ribosomal subunits are formed in the nucleus and they are sent to the cytoplasm for their function. You may be wondering why mRNA is not there in this list. mRNA is most of the mRNAs are transported by a different mechanism. Therefore, I am specifying here, I am explaining you the nuclear export using the RAN protein, and I will be explaining you about the transportation of the mRNA in the next presentation. So, as I explained you in case of the nuclear import, there is nuclear localization signals in the proteins that are synthesized on the ribosomes, which have to be transported to the nucleus. In the same way, if a protein should be exported from nucleus to cytosol, it carries a specific signal called as nuclear export signal. Nuclear export signal means it is a stretch of several leucines. So leucine rich region, that generally we call it as the nuclear export signal. There is no specific or defined sequence for the nuclear export signals. Here again RAN protein comes to the picture. So in the nucleus, so this is cytoplasm and this is nucleus. In the nucleus there is a protein called as exportin. Exportin makes interaction with the RAN protein when it is in the GTP bound form. It is important to note that it interacts only when it is in the GTP bound form. Once after the RAN binds to the exportin, then the exportin is ready to interact with the protein that it should carry. Now there is a nuclear export signal in this protein. This nuclear export signal is recognized by the exportin protein that is in the RAN GTP bound form. You should know that exportin as such cannot interact with the nuclear export signals. Now exportin with the RAN in the GTP bound form, then we have the cargo, that is NES. They form a complex, trimolecular cargo complex. There is a protein to be carried, that is the exportin, then the RAN in the GTP bound form. So this forms the trimolecular complex. Obviously, the concentration of the trimolecular complex is higher in the nucleus than the cytoplasm. Therefore, through simple diffusion, exportin interacts with the FG nucleoporins. FG nucleoporins present in the nuclear pore complex. Exportin interacts with the FG nucleoporins, and through simple diffusion principle, the whole complex travels to the cytoplasm. Like this, the whole complex travels to the cytoplasm. As you know, cytoplasm has RAN gap, GTPase activating protein. Now, once the RAN protein in the GTP bound form enters the cytoplasm, RAN gap immediately recognizes this RAN protein and hydrolyzes the GTP, or assists the hydrolysis of GTP to form RAN GDP. Now, as I said earlier, RAN can interact with the exportin only in the GTP bound form, never in the GDP bound form. Therefore, it immediately, as soon as the GTP is hydrolyzed to GDP, it is immediately releases the RAN protein, and thereby exportin and the cargo complex also undergo dissociation. Therefore, trimolecular cargo, trimolecular means 3 molecules together. Trimolecular cargo is splitted like this. Once RAN GDP is formed, followed by exportin, followed by the transport cargo. All the three are separated. Once after this separation, as you know, exportin is a protein that should present in the nucleus. Exportin interacts with the FG nucleoporins and travels to the nucleus. In the same way, RAN GDP travels back to nucleus with the interacting with these nuclear pore complexes. Therefore, the proteins exportin and RAN GTP are ready for the next round of cycle. As you know that RAN GDP becomes RAN GTP with the help of a protein called as RAN GEF. GEF means guanine nucleotide exchange factor. Therefore, GDP has been exchanged with GTP. So these two proteins are ready for the next round of the cycle. And one more thing is, you may be wondering how exactly I spoke about the proteins. How exactly RNA, that is rRNA and tRNAs are exported? Yes, here whenever the transportation cargo is tRNA or rRNA or tRNA specifically, the exportin type that interacts with the tRNA is exportin T. So consider this is the this is the tRNA. Immediately the protein called as exportin T interacts with RAN GTP, then exportin T interacts with the tRNA along with the other proteins. Therefore, in the same process, the tRNA is transported. In case of the rRNA also, rRNA forms the ribosomes in the nucleus. Once the ribosome subunits are formed in the nucleus, say a specific type of exportin interacts with the that is the ribosomal subunits along with the RAN GTP, then transports back. So the overall mechanisms remain same. You should also observe that in this case also RAN is cycling. Once in the GTP bound form, I can show in this picture, RAN in the GTP bound form, RAN in the carries to the cytoplasm, thereby it undergo hydrolysis by using this protein, then travels back, then again it is acted upon by GF protein, where the guanine nucleotide triphosphate in the triphosphate form it is restored. So this mechanism, so this is what I already explained you, how exactly exportin T interacts with RAN GTP and carries rRNA and tRNA. As I said, only few mRNAs are transported through this mechanism. All the other mRNAs have different mechanism, which I will be explaining to you in the next video. So overall, this is how RAN protein acts as the mediator between the transportation of cargo across the nuclear membrane. So this completes the mechanism of nuclear import as well as nuclear export. In both the cases, RAN protein is involved. Therefore, sometimes it is also designated as RAN cycle. Thank you.